Hello everyone and welcome to the vintage side. In this video I will be making 3 potato recipes. Each of these recipes was published in the 30s in various women's magazines. This first recipe is from 1933 and it was published in the Australian Women's Mirror. This was submitted by a reader, An Anecdote, from Cairns in Queensland. This recipe is called potato hotcakes. For this recipe we will need mashed potatoes with salt added, milk, egg, flour with baking powder added, and butter. To make the hotcakes, we need to add salt, butter, and a beaten egg to the mashed potatoes. Sift flour with baking powder, mix lightly but thoroughly with the potatoes, then add sufficient milk to handle the dough. Turn onto a floured board and pat into a sheet. Cut into rounds and bake in a hot oven till well risen and nicely browned for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now, a hot oven will be about 180 and I will see how they are after the 15 minutes, and if they need more then I will go to 20 minutes. After the hotcakes are baked, slit and serve with butter and honey or jam. Here are the hotcakes, all lovely and golden brown. I checked them after 15 minutes and they weren't quite golden yet, so I put them in for another 5 minutes. They did definitely take 20 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius in a fan-forced oven. Here are the hotcakes cooled down and I'm going to taste one. I think I say this every time, but these are absolutely delicious. These are a sort of shortbread biscuit crossed with a smooth hash brown, if that makes sense. Now, this tends to be a bit more of a savory flavor because there's no sugar in this recipe, but you could add various ingredients to make these either more savory, or if you want the plain flavor to add honey or jam, you can leave them as is. So I think that you could very easily add some fine grated parmesan in place of about a tablespoon of flour. Put in a tablespoon or 2 of Parmesan cheese and it would give them that potato cheesiness. And also I think it wouldn't alter the recipe too much if you put in some finely chopped herbs, some chives or parsley or whatever you prefer. But these are absolutely delicious, and one thing I've noticed, I had a lot of lumps of butter and it has created these beautiful pockets of flakiness and it's absolutely delightful. And I'm definitely going to make these again, and I'm definitely going to make sure that my butter doesn't completely mix in so I get that beautiful flakiness again. This next recipe is for potato cheese sticks. This was published in the Australian Women's Mirror in April of 1935. This recipe was submitted by Deirdre from Concord West in New South Wales. For this recipe we will need mashed potatoes, flour, cheese and butter. To make the potato cheese sticks we need to mix thoroughly the mashed potatoes, flour, butter and cheese. Optional flavorings can be added such as salt, pepper, garlic or other flavorings of your choice. Roll or pat into an oblong shape about 1/4 inch thick and cut into strips 4 inches by 1/2 inch each. Brush with beaten egg yolk and milk and bake for 10 minutes in a hot oven. Serve hot. This recipe may be prepared in the morning and then baked in the evening for dinner. I will be baking these potato cheese sticks at around 220 degrees Celsius in a fan-forced oven. Here are the potato cheese sticks straight out of the oven. Because I had never cooked this recipe before, I did not know what was going to happen when they baked. They have spread quite a bit. When I started to cut the rolled out potato mixture, I found that my mixture was very soft. It didn't like to be worked with. I'm not sure what happened with my ratios. Maybe I needed a bit more flour. Because the mixture was so soft, I ended up forming the potato sticks slightly differently. I just rolled them in my hands instead of cutting them out. So I will let these sticks cool and then I'll have a taste. Even after these are cooked, they're still quite soft. They are holding together, which is probably from the cheese, but I definitely think I needed to put more flour in them. So let's see how they taste. These are pretty good. I definitely think the recipe needs some tweaking. With more flour, they will hold their shape a bit better, and the cooking time was spot on, 10 minutes, and they're lovely and golden brown. I think I will make these again. The recipe was fairly quick and easy to whip up. It makes a nice change if you're always having the same type of potatoes. It's a different way to have potatoes, and the recipe is egg-free, so if you used a vegan cheese and a vegan butter, then these potato sticks would be vegan. This next recipe is for potato and cheese pancakes. It was published in the Australian Women's Mirror in December of 1935. It was submitted by Mrs. D.R. from Tambalup in WA. For this recipe, we will need potatoes, butter, eggs, cheese, breadcrumbs, flour, and milk. To make the potato and cheese pancakes, we need to peel and grate our raw potatoes, moisten with milk, and then mix in egg yolks, butter, and breadcrumbs. Add the grated cheese and enough flour to make a smooth batter. Fry the batter in a frying pan with a little more butter or lard than is used for ordinary pancake. When brown on both sides, dust the top with grated cheese, fold, and serve. Here are two of the potato and cheese pancakes. This was the first one, and I made the batter quite thin. So when I put it into the pan, I spread it out quite a bit. The mixture was not happy with that, and it has crumbled. I have still put the cheese in there, and we'll have a taste of that one to see whether it's completely cooked through. Now with this second one, I made the batter a bit thicker so that hopefully it would hold its shape better. It mostly stayed together until it was required to be moved, and it fell apart. I am not sure whether it's because I didn't put enough flour in my batter. I didn't want to put too much because then I would have ended up with a stiff batter, and then when I cooked that, it would have been a lot drier. So let's have a taste. Try this one first. Make sure it's cooked all the way through. That first one is definitely not cooked. I think I needed to leave it in the pan until it is completely brown all over. This one I did leave in the pan quite a bit longer. It was at least 5 full minutes on each side, possibly more. So let's see if this one is fully cooked. Okay, this one's not cooked all the way through either. Definitely not raw, but the potato is still undercooked. As far as the flavour goes, these actually are delicious, but I think it would be a lot better if that potato wasn't quite so crunchy. I think I'm going to throw these both back into the frying pan and see what happens after another 5-10 minutes. I know that these are not the most appetizing looking pancakes, but I am 100% positive that they are now fully cooked. Let's see. Okay, yes, the potato is a lot softer now. Definitely not as crunchy as they were before. And even though these don't look the most appetizing, they are really delicious. It's like a cross between a hash brown and a pancake, and hash browns are good, pancakes are good. It's really good. I think I just need to work on the timing with the cooking, but I am going to do that later. I'm going to end this video now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions related to cooking, please pop them in the comment section down below and I will be happy to answer them for you. Remember to like, subscribe, and to ring the bell so you receive notifications every time I post a new video. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.